We are back now with the panel. Maggie Haberman is still with us, and joining us are Yamiche Alcindor, NBC News Washington correspondent and moderator of PBS Washington Week, Brendan Buck, former advisor to Speakers Paul Ryan and John Boehner, and Jen Psaki, former White House press secretary and an NBC News contributor. Thanks to all of you for being here. Yamiche, let's start with what's happening on the ground in Georgia. You were there for many days. Is this Herschel Walker controversy resonating, or do you think he survives it?
Well, certainly a lot of people in Georgia are talking about it, but people, based on my reporting, are already in their camps. If you're someone who didn't like Herschel Walker, like Lisa Gordon, this African-American woman, told me she had never even considered Herschel Walker because he was facing a host of domestic abuse claims. She didn't think that he had the character to serve in the U.S. Senate. But I didn't meet one Republican voter who was changing their mind. And that means everyone that I talked to said, I don't like this. Maybe it's made up. Maybe he's telling the truth. Either way, it's not changing my vote. And I'm thinking about this one voter. Her name is Linda Oviatt. She's an elderly white woman. She told me 100% I believe these allegations. I think Herschel Walker is lying right now. She told me I'm still voting for him. People make mistakes. He's now someone who is an opponent of abortion rights. And as a result, I'm going to continue to stick with him. And really, I think this is about people seeing politics as tribal, seeing Herschel Walker as a means to an end, and that end being more restrictions on abortion, maybe a better economy, maybe a harsher policies on crime. Name it. That's what Republican voters are telling me.
Well, and they also see it as a way to win the Senate. And Brendan, top Republicans are standing by him. I want to play a little bit of this sound that we heard from top Republicans this week and then get your reaction.
Do you stand by Herschel Walker?
I believe Herschel Walker is going to be the next senator. I'm proud to support Herschel Walker.
But his own, you want them to elect that Republican?
Hell yes. I want every Republican running for Senate in this country to win.
Herschel's going to win, so they're going to throw everything under the sun at him. Herschel is a great candidate. He's focused on the right issues.
And NBC News has now confirmed that Scott and Tom Cotton are going to be campaigning with him this week. You're from Georgia. You've been talking to your sources down there. What are folks telling you about how big of an impact this is having and whether this type of full-throated support may be risky for Republicans?
Well, they're certainly circling the wagons, and that's because what's at stake here. This seat could decide who controls the Senate. So it's not surprising at all that Rick Scott, whose job is to get Republicans elected, is backing him. But it's not hard to run into a Brian Kemp, Republican governor, Raphael Warnock voter in Georgia. And that's the problem. I don't think this is going to change a lot of things. I think it is relatively baked in, but you have to remember, Herschel Walker was losing before this happened. Herschel Walker needs to make up ground in the last month. People are going to be starting to vote very soon in Georgia. And the reason that Republicans have been doing poorly in Georgia recently is the northern Atlanta suburbs. I know you spent some time in Marietta, Alpharetta, Roswell, these areas where Republicans have been losing educated women, particularly, and this is a candidate who's raising the issue of abortion. That's not going to help him get back to where he needs to be to get over 50%.
And 1 or 2% and makes all the difference in Georgia, right? Let's also remember all you need is that to win this seat. So that's even if people are baked in. 1 or 2% of women changing their mind and
makes
more
a
not
big
women.
difference.
There's also potentially a very long way to go here, because this in all likelihood will go to a runoff in the beginning of December. And so while we're looking at this last week and questioning, is it a game changer? Is it not a game changer? Frankly, I think Senator Warnock is probably doing the smart strategic thing as of this moment, which is kind of letting Herschel Walker wallow in his muddy pit of
So you
scandal.
don't think he should take the gloves off at this point?
I actually think for the moment, and you always have to reevaluate in campaigns. You evaluate week by week. But again, this is could be a long call. What he is going to have to depend on, Senator Warnock, that is whether there's going to be big spending to keep this in the minds of voters over the next month to 2 months. And then he may have to decide that he may have to take the gloves off at some point. But I don't think he needs to do that now. And I think he's doing the right thing by letting Herschel Walker just wallow in his muddy scandal pit on his own here.
Maggie, one of the things that makes this moment so interesting is that it's sort of like celebrity candidates on display. A lot of them handpicked by Trump. We talked about obviously Herschel Walker, but also Dr. Oz is another one. Is this a key test of celebrity candidates, and does it underscore kind of the challenge with it if you're not Donald Trump?
I think there's a baseline challenge to that. I think number one, he has been in public life as a celebrity for a very long time, dealing with the national media in a way that Herschel Walker was not, but in a way that Dr. Oz was more, right? I mean, so it just depends on which race you're talking about and the specifics. The Oz-Fetterman race is very different than what's happening in Georgia. I think that you're going to have to isolate out these specific races. I don't think that there is a blanket takeaway away from this, I do think you will see more celebrity candidates, particularly among Republicans, jumping in, and that is the Donald Trump effect.
That is a very good point. I want to talk about the battleground map broadly now. It runs through 9 key states. In order to win back control, Republicans have to flip one of the Senate seats currently held by Democrats in Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, or New Hampshire, while holding on to seats in Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Carolina, Florida, and in Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, Republican Senator Ron Johnson, like many Republicans, is trying to put the focus on crime. Take a look at this recent exchange from a debate.
Whenever I see a police officer, I go up to him and I say, thank you for your service. And if I have time, I say, please don't be dispirited by the loud few who are trying to defund you.
I'm sure he didn't have the same interaction with the 140 officers that were injured during the January 6th insurrection. And let's talk about the 140 officers that he left behind because of an insurrection that he supported.
Brendan, what do you make of that point, counterpoint?
Well, crime is a big issue, and we talk a lot about inflation, we talk about abortion. Most Republican candidates are running on crime, and particularly in Wisconsin, it is working to devastating effect on Mandela Barnes. Republicans, Ron Johnson is someone who should be very vulnerable, but he has been hitting this crime issue, and in some places it's just going to work better than others. And in Wisconsin, it is working. I asked somebody, a plugged-in political operative in Wisconsin, why is it working so well there? He said one word: Kenosha.
Jen?
I would say I agree with Brendan that crime is an issue that Democrats have to speak to. I think there was a missed opportunity there for Mandela Barnes. When he talked about the insurrection, I think that was a little disconnected from what people in Wisconsin are feeling. I mean, crime is up in Milwaukee. If I were him or advising him, which I'm not, I would say you should have made it about the use of gun violence and the fact that your opponent has done nothing to address gun violence, and that is what is showing rising crime in Wisconsin, because that's what people are thinking about. With their fears when they go out their door, less the insurrection.
There has not
honestly
been a more potent political issue that I can remember in recent years than defund the police. And while Mandela Barnes may have not said he wants to defund the police, he does have a record of wanting to redirect funds away from police, and that is going to hurt, and that is showing up in the polls.
But here's the interesting thing. We had a country where a man was murdered, strangled, George Floyd. We had a country who then debated race relations and policing, and that backfired. So defund the police, while Democrats have continuously said, most Democrats have said, we don't support that, it's stuck to them because some people in this country were deeply uncomfortable with the fact that we were talking about the fact that black people get killed at disproportionate rates than white people. We should also remind people that FBI just this week said murders are up, violent crime is down. So a lot of this is about fear, but it's fear on both sides because Republicans are saying crime, you should be fearing crime, you should be feeling the border. Democrats are saying you should be fearing your personal privacy and you should be fearing threats to democracy.
Yeah, it's certainly the closing arguments that we are seeing. All right, stick around, guys. We do have a lot more.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.